All right, jumping into the first real fight. There's actually something interesting he does to start with here. Well, I mean, the first main thing I actually want to mention is the fact that he's using the Fury AR, which for a lot of W keying players, if you're in like lower elo games, like this is so good for just pressuring walls. So it's something that a lot of these players take. I don't really think most people are going to end up taking it, but still. This is then something else I really like, how he ended up using the mask to tell it TP up above. And then the first thing he does here is pump. So he pumps this cone, which almost completely destroys it because it goes super weak, as you can see here. And then when he starts spraying, you'll notice I've maybe made it a little bit too slow in the slow-mo. As he sprays, he can just instantly fall straight in. And this guy, I don't know if this guy had no mats or if he was just completely shambles or whatever. He wasn't trying to hold it. But that speed of destroying the cone or weakening it with the shotgun allows him to drop in much quicker. And this is something I've seen a lot of players do. The first thing, most of the time, things they do when they get onto a wall is just pump, instantly switch their SMG or AR, and then just spray in. And nice, this actually gives him the mythic mask from here too. So like the path he took here was, where is he at? Brutal, over to pumped, and then up to kind of demons, and he was scouting, obviously seeing where the coin was on the map as well, and then down this kind of direction. And obviously, if you're in a WQ game in solos, if you're landing anywhere up in this top right area generally, it's super useful to try and get the mask from here because it's going to give you, what, 50 charges at once or something like that once you end up getting the elim for it. So if you're in a WQ game, that's going to allow you to kind of catch up and chase people much easier rather than potentially having a 15-use mask where you have to be a little bit more conscious of the uses. All right, so he starts things off with a little beam, which I just missed, and then he ends up immediately ramping up. Now, the mechanics here are interesting because he's obviously at this kind of diagonal angle below. So he goes for a triple edit, straight for the wall in front of him, and does the same thing again. Now, the thing I really like about this is actually the patience, where he double edits, and I think this is the other player's wall here. But what he does is he jumps, resets the floor, and now this is going to make this player here try to end up editing on you, right? You're going to like, ooh, I have a shot. So instead, he ends up sprint jumping around the side and grabbing the two high walls. This is a mechanic that, like, if you watch a lot of the best players in the world, they do this a ton. So from the side, that's just a small little sprint jump there. Grab the two walls and the ramp below and above. So you're essentially sprint jumping, two walls, two ramps. It's actually very easy to do, but it's really also easy to like sprint jump off and just like fire yourself off this direction, which is not super useful. So yeah, super nice mechanic to learn. And in this particular situation, that means that if the other player was going to ramp up, so if for a lot of people in this scenario, what you're going to do, say Rain here was either going to edit through the wall or he's going to go up a layer and go over, which as you can see was actually what he intended on doing, but he ended up coning himself here. So had this player not coned, Chap would have just edited through this and just immediately been in the same box of him and been able to get a good shot off. But instead, he ends up editing through. And as you can see, he doesn't get the piece here, so he decides to go for the piece this direction, which he also misses, and then goes through into the... And now he's just, I don't know, honestly, he's just kind of just going crazy on him right now. But as soon as that other player gets shot, you see the exact same thing I said before. Pumps the wall first, so that now makes it really, really weak. Now that allows him to spray... Does he manage to get the wall? He didn't manage to get the wall, but because he didn't, I was going to say he can now try and replace it a second time with the pump because he's done it weak so already. But at this point, I'll be honest, he's just going in crazy peace mode. You kind of like, at a certain point, you're just kind of going ultra instinct and just piecing up walls and stuff. The first few mechanics there were nice to learn from, though. This next fight also has some really nice stuff in that as well. So he drops down, swings at the wall, immediately goes to shotgun, and then you can pump replace it from there, and he slides this ramp in at the same time as taking the wall. This guy is literally looking the other direction. He's looking the other way. He's so lost. He's actually doesn't even know what's going on, and managed to edit the ramp. Probably not the best ramp selection. I'm trying to think if maybe doing a back left to back right, like if you grab this tile to here instead. Because that basically guarantees you a good shot. But this is a lot of muscle memory that people have from just doing like the Mongrel Classics from 2018 still built up. But if you're going to do this, doing a left to right ends up giving you by far the best peaks overall. You just get like a little toe shot on there, which is nice. But the wall replacing he does here is even better. So after hitting that shot, the first thing he does here, whilst this player, Henderly, has just placed this wall, is he pumps it, which weakens it, switches to his AR and tries to like phase in, but he fails. However, he does manage to get the cone through the wall. And now notice, he's already switched back to his pump. So the mechanics there were pump, spray, cone, shotgun. And had he phased into the box, like had he actually successfully ramp phased into the box here, he would be able to just one pump him and finish him off here. But because he hasn't able to, now again, he can pump. You see that small little pump on the wall? Switch the pickaxe, replace, double edit, pump, dead. So you can see like the muscle memory and the thought process of always like pumping the wall and then immediately either switching to your AR or your pickaxe will continue the momentum. And like the pressure, if you're another player, is really difficult because like we're watching this slowly here, but if you watch it at like 100% speed, let's watch this from our boy Henderly's perspective, right? The pressure that you can get applied from this is crazy. Okay, thank you, replay mode. The pressure is crazy, right? He's in. He's got the wall in front of him now. He's building like he can't do anything. In the cone, wall replaced already and dead. So building up that muscle memory to do this really, really quickly is super, super valuable. And this helps against all kinds of levels of players, not just Henderly, no offense. You can actually see this exact same thing again in action here as Mermoz here is weak and he pumps the wall, just starts absolutely spraying and just jumps in like at the perfect time. That guy's holding his wall. And if we end up, again, you know, one of the best ways you can watch something is watching it from their perspective. So if you end up watching from Mermoz, the opponent's POV here, you'll see he's just holding his wall and Chap manages to time this jump perfectly. Now, this is something that's incredibly difficult to actually do. I don't think I've ever got the timing right on this whatsoever. Let's see. He ends up getting his wall pumped there and shot through the wall by Chap. Now he's holding it. Oh, it's as he tries to edit the cone. So it's because he's actually not holding wall. He's trying to edit the cone. So Chap just jumps through in an instant like that, just because of the immediate pressure that he's given onto him. And because it's so quick, because the pump spray is so fast that there's just almost no chance you can react that quickly. I think I've noticed that Chap does a lot, and that's actually just window edit. If you've watched my editing tier list, you'll know. Window edits, the highest of highest tier. So in this scenario, he jumps up and he's trying to grab like piece and block him over. He blocked the floors here to stop this guy kind of doing a jump shot back here. And now what this forces is this Joe guy wants to end up going up and doing a side jump in this tile. So really good prediction from Chap here to take a wall in front, edit the window and the ramp, and then do a little ramp edit. But again, as I kind of mentioned earlier, this ramp edit is not great. For this specific scenario, this makes this guy phase and end up falling down. So he ends up actually not going through this. But still, the window edit that he did is so good. You're going to notice this happens a lot. The clip we looked at earlier, a clip we're going to look at actually later in this fight, he does the same thing. Window edit, always swinging to the left, and he's an absolute master at this. Okay, so he gets tagged, heals up on height, grabs his blob back up again, and then he's starting to pressure. I really love the angle changes and everything he ends up doing here too. He sees that there's like a multiple layers of builds, goes over, swaps sides, switches directions. There's again the pump wall, pump pickaxe, grabs this wall, lands on a cone. Really crazy to do this so fast and then pull up his pump. And again, check the edit. Window edit into pump shot there. Super nice. And like from the other player's perspective, sure, you can get a shot there, but that's only because he started swinging that direction. That's like pretty much the best edit you can do possible from there. And obviously he starts to get third-partied, and now it's all just kind of a matter of like, right, I need to just get in and finish this fight quickly. Great phasing, again, to ramp in, but doesn't manage to kill him. Gets a nice box, but the other player manages to get another bit of piece and gets him to jump out. And you can notice like the continual angle changing. He doesn't end up like just spraying. He's always trying to find like a wall that was just weak and had a single layer of builds. Grabs it, pumps that to replace the wall with his own cone there. And look at the swing. Like, look at the swing here. There's no chance that if you're this player, you're going to get a pump shot off. Like, zero. Beautiful movement, similar to kind of the window edits we saw earlier. Then swings into it, finishes him off. And again, like, he really, really didn't over-peak that corner at all. Let me go back and watch it. Like, check this. He drops down, takes it. Look how far behind that wall is. Pump replaces, and then just watch how little he exposes himself around the corner. Almost nothing at all. Like, literally perfect movement. This next Elim is actually fully insane. He ends up using the mask to kind of TP over, and you can hear and see someone that's healing over here, Jor. So as he approaches, guess what he does? Just take one guess. It's really hard. Oh, he pumps the wall in the way. But what he does here is really nice. He again pumps and then switches to his AR. And notice he's going to slide and spray at the same time. He's trying to phase his way into the box with a perfectly timed slide, because it'll keep your movement speed, and then spray to break the wall. Unfortunately, he times it slightly wrong, so he doesn't get in. But this movement is really, really difficult to do, but if you do it right, you're just instantly in their box, and they can never predict it that well. Unfortunately, it doesn't work. And now look, he switches back to the pump. He doesn't do anything fancy. He doesn't build to protect himself. He knows that from this player's POV, like, I mean, both lined up basically at each other's heads here, this guy has control of all the build pieces. So the chances are this guy's just going to edit here. So what he does is he just waits, predicts, and that guy ends up shooting the wall to break it, and Chap gets a perfect pre-fire at the same time. I'll watch that at full speed. Just looks way better than that kind of slow-mo clip that I was going through there. Let me catch up to it. If I skip forward here a little bit. Yeah, here he is on the wall. You end up just trying to slide in. Phase, doesn't work. Bang, dead. Beautiful, beautiful. His next elim's also really, really nice. He does something that I really like from that when you're seeing like a full opponent that's boxed up like this. So, you know, this box 2 or 3 boxes this guy has here, none of the walls are weak, right? They're full HP. So what you can do is you can kind of, you know, start swinging on them or whatever. But from the other player's perspective, he's going to have all of the ability to make edits, make plays and things like that. So what you want to do is just try and bait them out. That's exactly what Chap does here. Notice he swings onto this wall once or twice or whatever it was, and then moves off of the angle. Because by double pickaxing, this guy thinks, oh, I can edit on him. I can take a shot. And he edits, and Chap is nowhere to be seen. Again, phenomenal movement. But what this does now is from Chap's POV, he can cone here and swing back. Because this wall's weak, this guy now resets it. So it's what, 50 HP? And now he goes for a little pickaxe, takes the wall, and then guess what he does? Yeah, again, it's not going to be a pump wall replace because he's already managed to grab it. But he ends up swinging. Beautiful window edit. Again, look at this piece, but you can't actually see him from behind here. But he's completely hidden. Grabs the wall behind, pumps to replace the cone. And now from the other player's POV, like, if there wasn't so many sparkly stars in the way, you'd be able to see zero vision, pretty much. You can just see his pump shotgun sticking out there. So from this angle that he's sitting at here, he has all of the control. He can take any shot he wants. And of course, he swings even further behind. I think this guy, I don't know what... This guy just starts sniffing this wall. I think he missed that edit. That's his wall. So I don't know... I don't know what bro is doing there. But yeah, Chap now is full control. Pumps, resets, and then just sprays through to finish things off. So again, amazing, nice wall replacing timing by letting the other player weaken the wall. And then also at the same time, he ends up doing really nice movement to hide himself, and both behind the wall to start with, and also behind the window edit, which is super nice. This next fight's also interesting. There's a couple really nice parts about how to heal in this. Because as you can see, 2 players in front of him. This is not the situation you really ever want to be in terms of like how you approach a fight. You never want to be running in between 2 people. But he's got really nice awareness here. As you can see, he obviously knows the guys to the right because this guy's standing, he's making footsteps. So he kind of blocks off those angles. And obviously, he must know where this guy is somehow. But he's just crouching. He obviously doesn't have the most awareness. I obviously must think he's under here. Maybe he saw a shot or something. But yeah, this guy's hiding on the peak. So he gets the pump off on him. And the first thing he does there is full box the player. He ramps over him. This guy is literally entirely fully boxed. But obviously, he has low HP. He's got the HP disadvantage here. So you don't really want to make an edit and go for play. This is the time you want to heal. And what most people mess up here is this: they try to rebox a bunch. But you can see instead, he jumps out, resets the wall, which is firstly kind of cool. I've never seen someone do a sprinting side jump where they replace or reset the wall like that, which is kind of cool. And going up, then double boxes up above. So he immediately changes layers to heal first, which is really, really common. But again, just still a mistake I see a ton of people making. Now, obviously, the other guy starts to pressure him. And now it basically moves back into the other box that he has there. The other guy is kind of, I don't know what he's doing. He's kind of scared. But once he's popped a bunch of the splashes now it's immediately time to start like pressuring up again. And as soon as he hits a shot off, that's actually like a 40 or something. It's not the biggest. And then an AR tag after that too. Thanks Replay for not have damage numbers, by the way. I really love that. The pressure he does now is really nice. He's got the HP advantage. He got up to 166. This guy's on like 130 or something. And then he literally is just ramping on the walls. Sprays in, manages just to phase straight in again because other players too busy reboxing, and kills him. Now, it looks like a really like stupid slow fight. Like, how do you even phase in there? But all of these little mechanics that he does, like the ramp phasing in, when watched at 100% speed, are actually really quick, right? So as you can see, he gets the shot off, hits that other AR tag we were talking about, continually sprays, switches the pump, gets the ramp over, and then just sprays straight in, walks in, and kills him. He also manages to cone there at the same time. Like, so spray in, cone pump. Like the muscle memory to both pull out the cone and then pull out your shotgun immediately. It's just so essential at this point. Now he goes hunting for that other player. Yeah, this guy's just lost. I don't even know what's going on now. I don't think he knows either. But yeah, then just kills the other player. He knows he's bad. He was sitting crouching behind a ramp. Nice. One thing he was doing here was as he was editing through. Now this is like a massive 2x2, 2x2x2. If you see this in a low-level solo casual game, like, you know this guy's not good. So what he did was he broke through onto the top layer here. He took these walls, then he edited through the window, And then he was using his cone out to check if the player was in these cones there at all. So you can see because there's a little lock icon on your screen. Not obviously in replay mode here. Now he's probably going to do the same thing. Yeah, there we go. He sees this cone's weak. It's the only one there. So the chances are it's going to be under it. And then, I don't know, this guy, as I mentioned, this guy was just not that great whatsoever. Guys, you're going to be absolutely mind-blown how he kills this guy. You're never going to guess it. You're never going to see it coming. Is he going to pump the wall and then spray in, cone, and pump again? Crazy. Crazy thoughts. Maybe this is something that needs to be learned. I have actually also realized, I've not at this point mentioned, the reason this works is because the pump does so much structure damage. It does like 90 structure damage or something like that. So this won't work with every shotgun if you didn't catch that part on. Now, the one thing that's really important to mention when you're doing this and using your shotgun a lot is actually you always need to reload, because this thing has 4 bullets in it. So notice here, he was reloading on approach. Let me just slow this down so I don't have to do it all the time. Right, he's trying to pickaxe into the box. He jumps because he's going to try and like pickaxe down and fall in or something, and he would then grab that wall, but I think he timed that one wrong. Pickaxes, pumps the wall to replace it, misses the edit unfortunately, but now he's used that shotgun shot, used another one here, jumps up, and as he's changing angles here, reloads. You can see he's reloading here, shoots again, sprays through, jumps up, reloads again. So the one thing that's really important if you're going to try and do this is you just have to build the muscle memory to, as you're changing angles, repeatedly reload the shotgun. If you don't, you're going to run into a sticky situation. Now, the one thing here that's really interesting is the mistake that this player makes, right? You can see he's fully boxed. He here has cones and floors above him, cone beneath him as well, right? So what you're going to see the other player do is edit up. So he edits the cone, and you can see Chap trying to spray in. Then he double edits up. But what the problem here is he's going to reset those 2 builds. So what he really should do is, if he's going to try and get out of this properly, is he should reset the builds and rebox out another angle. Because what he does instead is stays up in this box up here. So like this tile, the one layer above him. And the big issue there is that as soon as you reset a build, they're all super weak. So as Chap knows here, you can basically just pickaxe through, ramp, pickaxe, pickaxe. You see they break in one shot every time, and then you can just hit a max pump and finish him off nicely there. I'm just going to keep this clip in here because I want to show you that pros are human too, right? He's just trying to kill a player who's boxed up. The guy's not very good. And Chap is doing a phenomenal job piecing him. He's got the cones in the floors. He's got the wall. Misses the pump shot. Double edits in the box. Misses the pump shot. Gets himself out. I think goes around the changes the angle. Here he is. Misses the pump shot. Misses every AR bullet. Outside of 1 AR bullet, I think he hit there. So, you know, pros are human too. They miss shots. They do stuff like that. That's looking like a resub clip right there, outside the fact they actually pieced him up. I think it's only killing this guy just by spraying him, but yeah, I thought I'd leave that in just because it's important to know that pros miss too. It's not just you. And I'm just talking about literally the exact same thing every single fight. But it's important. He drops 29 elims this game. Pumps the wall. Jumps up, pickaxes, replaces, edits the cone. And it's interesting, he pumps, and then you can see floors, and then ramps. And I'm not entirely sure what the muscle memory he was trying to do here was with this. I don't know if it's like if he doesn't get the wall, then he can still ramp fizz in or something. But he does, so I don't know, not 100% of that. But then, yeah, again, obviously able just to spray through and finish off the player really easily then. The speed that you do this at is really important, because if you do this slowly, where you're pumping, I'm going to take my pickaxe slow, and your muscle memory is not good for this yet, then it kind of defeats the entire purpose. The benefit of this strategy is that you can do it so fast that other players can't react. Right? Pumps, taken, edits, shots, in, dead. Like almost instantly. All right, there's 12 players left, and Chap wins with 29 elims. So if my horrible mathematics is correct, he ends up getting 8 more elims out of the 12 people. Well, not 12 because he's one of 11 people. So there's only 3 people left. He doesn't elim. So first player, easy jump in the box. Let's see how he does it for the rest of them. Mantles back to his own box. Bit of pressure, bit of spray. See what he's doing here. See if he ends up... I wonder, like, I always wonder, because a lot of these players end up just full keying in the last kind of moving zones, but also sometimes they just end up playing to win. Obviously, he is not. He's just running at people's faces. And that one was stolen from him, so that's one of the elims he doesn't get. And he almost got it. So, yeah. I'm sure a lot of these will just be spray kills onto players who are, like, rotating front side, as this was. Honestly, a lot of, like, the endgame elims are just, like, awareness checking people. You know, just slightly seeing where someone's not paying attention, and then just immediately pumping and spraying into their box or something like that. A lot of them so far have not been anything that special. We're below. Beautiful piece. I don't even know if he meant to do that, I'll be honest. Players ramping up from behind. Another beautiful kill backside because it's going up a zone, so everyone, or up a mountain, so everyone's kind of stuck. Really nice, actually. The one thing I like about this is, you know, the height spraying, yada yada, and he slid under the box to go onto this side, so that if he tried to pressure this wall from this side, right, he's just going to get shot from the height guy. But instead he went round to take it from the storm side, so it's almost like this, behind this player, so he doesn't really know the angle that it's coming from. And if he gets sprayed by the other guy, he'll just get full pinched in between, which allows him to get that kill super easy. 3 more players left. One's way up there. Is he going to try and go for height? Nope. Just, I love like the thought process. It's just, I'm just going to spray in and it just works. Okay. I guess like a lot of these, it's like a low elo game. People just panic. So just by like trying to spray straight into someone's face, which I'm sure is relatively easy. He gets 1 more elim. I'm sure someone dies to storm. It's probably this height guy here. Nice little tarp ahead. He still has like 120 builds, which is, I mean, I guess what happens when you just WK everyone. Ooh, I like that. See what he did there was he threw the mask directly up into the sky, which made this player... can my controller work? My controller's not working. Nice. Give me a second while I re-plug it in here. There we go. Yeah, he threw the mask into the sky, which as you can see, like this guy just looks up because he's waiting for that guy to teleport on him on height. And then Chap just sprays him out on height while he wasn't paying attention, which is super nice. Gets a couple shots as he falls, 100 damage, pumps the floor, drops him out. This guy's just lost. I don't know if the guy even has any mats left. Is he just trying to flex on him? No, he just, I was going to say, he just ends up jumping straight up into the air. And from there on, I think it's just straight pressure. I talk about how good he was at reloading, and had he reloaded, he would have finished this earlier. Where is this bro? Where is bro at? There it is. Okay, yeah, then I just finished the last player off there. So, really nice little W key game. 29 elims. Lots of nice little things, mainly about pumping walls and spraying. But let's jump on to the higher elo game, the finals, and how he won a game with, I think, 8 elims. Alrighty, so in opens, we saw that he landed on the train. However, now he's landing at Demon's Dojo up to the north. I don't know if he tried to land in the actual POI itself or not, but because replay, unfortunately, you can buffer back to a certain point. So if they drop early from the bus, you kind of miss the start of the game, unfortunately. But yeah, seems to be landing up to the northeast here. Even though he's like an incredible fighter, he's still trying to land somewhere uncontested where he doesn't have to fight someone immediately or 50-50 them straight off spawn and can grab some loot. It's interesting, he also just insta-dips out with this. Because I know for a fact there's really not that much loot in this area. There's like a little hut down here, I think. And as you can see, there's already like a few people fighting up in this direction and up here. So I'm not sure what his plan is in terms of just looting from here. I guess there is actually more chests. I actually don't know. Let me open Fortnite GG. Yeah, okay. I thought I was going crazy. I was like, there's not much. So basically landed on 3 chests. Maybe those 2. I'm not sure. And then there's another 2 here. So I don't know if his plan is to drop down this way or whatever. But I mean, I could actually just check because we are watching the game. All right, so the path's kind of interesting here. So the zones end up pulling relatively close to where he drops. So he pretty much rotates down from over where he landed back to those 2 chests where it was at, wraps down in south here to grab some of the extra loot here. There's a player there. I wonder, there's a lot of metal in this spot. So yeah, I guess the path he's taking is pretty much to actually just stay away from everyone, which obviously was very much so the opposite of what we just watched in the opens game. And yeah, that can kind of be shown also by this, like no elims up until what, minute 15, 16, 17 or something like that. So we'll see what kind of loot he gets from this. Barrels down to this little house here. Doesn't seem like there's a single chest in here, but I know there's a few. Yeah, I was gonna say, I know there's a few in this little area down here. Also the potential to fish if you drop down here too. I don't know what is going on with this replay. Why is this so laggy? All right, had to skip all that because replay just freaked out. But I think he ended up wasting a bunch of match trying to fight the player. Was defensive, didn't end up fighting them, and then ended up disengaging. Unfortunately, replay mode just didn't allow me to watch it. So yeah, I'm not really sure what he ended up doing there, but he didn't get any metal. And now he's just reharvesting his brick and his wood back. And he's rotating into pumped power. And pumped power has a ton of metal in here. So you'll find that a ton of players will end up rotating through here later on to the game. So the fact that he's gone here relatively early to try and grab his is a good sign. Because again, if you do it too late to try and grab your metal later, you're not going to be able to get anything. And for the most part, the best bang for the buck that you can get of all the metal here is those walls that he was just harvesting here. He only got 200 and then disengaged. So I guess the plan was not just to stay here and get metal. So we'll see what he ends up doing next. All right, harvests this metal all the way to the north. So it's quite a lengthy rotation to go. I wonder if he's just basically playing Edge of Storm here, like, you know, just playing away from everyone up at the top, whereas everyone else is obviously going to end up way further down to the south, down here and in this area. I don't know if he's just looking for kills, looking for anything. He's just kind of honestly doing not a lot. I don't know what he was doing. I don't really know what he was looking for either, but he ended up going back into Pumped, either for more loot or repeatedly just to get more metal. I'm not really sure. He's just... I can't really decipher what's going on in this game. I don't know if he was looking for kills. I don't know if he was looking for ammo, because he was relatively low on that too. But moving out of pump power earlier was kind of a strange play. But I guarantee he's probably going to do nothing until later, so I'll skip ahead. I say that, and then he immediately tries to get into a fight with, I think this is Focus. I'm not sure. Could not be, to be honest with you. But look at the difference in how he fights here in comparison to how he was fighting before. Single pickaxe, sits behind the angle. Like, he's respecting the fact that this player is in finals, so it's going to be a better player. So his playstyle has changed accordingly. He's not just like super aggressive, trying to do some crazy on-wall replace strats. He's just taking his time, playing things slow, trying to get the advantage in the fight for some shot. And obviously, this guy's making some great plays, like lovely angles that he's going for here. And Chap is also, in return, not taking the bait. He's not taking a couple damage. He's not making a bad angle, a bad peek or anything. He's just playing things really slowly. So it's interesting to see the difference in how he plays opens in comparison to how he plays against good players in finals. I feel like this is also a really smart decision where you see this player is a million boxes. He's making good angles. He's probably a good player himself. From Chap's perspective, we know he is. But from Chap's perspective, he's read, this guy's making good angles. He's making good plays. I'm not going to invest my time in this fight. I'm just getting out of here. It's probably a waste of time. So smart decision. I'm not gonna lie, I had no idea this existed. Underneath the waterfall, there's an elemental chest and another chest there. Did not know that was there. Cool. Important note, he just spends a little bit of time fishing, so he's got 6 slurpfish now instead of having, I think he had 3 bigs and a 2-use blob. So now instead he's got 6 slurpfish to play the rest of the game out for him. A lot of players in this scenario would continue to take the fishing rod, but I'm not actually sure if there's anywhere he'd fish. Like, the chance of you being able to fish again is pretty low, because as you can see also, from the rest of the game, most players are situated like near the water because they're either going to use the boon, I think it's called. I always keep forgetting the name, the water boon, or they're going to fish there. So like Say is as well. So from kind of 5th and 6th zone onwards, it's probably best just dropping the fishing rod and instead just carrying the fish you have from it and playing the game out from there. Unless you're already situated on somewhere with water, or if you're in like one of these zones in the middle here, or maybe you're over here and Shattered, you can maybe keep it. But honestly, it's probably worth dropping in just instead for him to take the 6 fish. Who is Kim? So on rotation here, he actually managed to get an Elim onto Dandir. Nice beam, 150 damage. So this kind of goes back. I guarantee he's going to do, yeah, exactly what we saw in opens. He's got a huge HP advantage. He pumps the wall once. This guy's going to be healing straight away. Grabs the wall inside, which is really, really nice. Pumps, tries to replace all of the cones inside. He's German, so he obviously manages to get it and manages to finish off the Elim super, super quickly there. So the change of pace and aggression is really nice, where obviously we saw earlier he was fighting a really good player and he was slow and he was calculated about the angles he was taking. But as soon as you've got a beam like a 150 damage, it's just get in. And that's kind of what we go back to some of the techniques we saw earlier in the opens game, where you're really trying to be aggressive with the pump in the walls, trying to just ramp phase in, all these kind of things that he did there, which was super, super nice. One thing that's important here is he was rotating. Like, I didn't show you any of it. I missed it because it was boring, but he didn't just stop at the edge. He really kept trying to rotate in a little bit deeper and try and get his way in. Because like if this zone pulls over here, pulls over here, pulls over here, he's a much better rotation now that he's slightly deeper rather than being straight on the edge and stuck in amongst everyone. And with everyone looking back at you. Because like most people, if you're at the edge of the zone, everyone looks the same direction to you. Whereas if you're in the middle, a lot of people will be looking back, so they won't be looking at you. Zone popped, so he insta-tellied. As soon as it appeared, he insta-tellied and just started running, which is good because that insta-telly meant he jumped over the vast majority of people that were next to him there. He managed to get away, using a little bit of wood to try and make this rotate. It's a bit of an awkward one. I just want to see where he positions here because it's like a full water zone and these are always horrific. So I'm really, really interested to see where he ends up positioning himself. If he's on the water and has to rotate across the other side, these zones are always so annoying. They're some of my least favorite, I'm not going to lie. And this season has a lot of them, because there's a lot of areas where you can just be completely in water at all times. Notice what he did very soon there was he's marked the hill, right? He's in a horrible spot. With this zone, as I mentioned, with the water there, he's in a horrific spot. So he's marked that already, so that if he sees that zone pulls that way, he can just kind of use he knows where he's going to insta-rotate. So he's planning way ahead of time. All right, he knows he's about to rotate, splashes, so gets up to almost match HP. Scouting, zone pools to him. So he gets a lucky zone pool here. So doesn't have to worry about getting across this water, which is annoying because I'd quite like to rotate it to analyze that. Nice, because he started this rotate really early as well. Similar to some of the previous ones, he's actually also managing to kind of refarm as he goes here. Nice, and managed to kill Pogba. R.I.P. Pogba then. Gets a nice little refresh. I mean, didn't even need that refresh, to be honest. That was just an elim for points, just entirely. Drops the extra heals and everything behind. They can go pick all that stuff up. So he has extras here just in case he needs, which is super, super nice as well. So really nice timing for a refresh, but he didn't really need it, in all honesty. But it was a good opportunity and he took it. Okay, zone pool's max for him now. So has to kind of figure out, wait, he was on low ground, which makes things kind of awkward. So I wouldn't be surprised if he spent a little time or put a little bit of materials into getting a higher box up here. Yeah, exactly. I'm a mind reader. I'm a mind reader. There you go. Now he has a better box to use the teleport from. Because now he has vision, right? Before on that previous layer, you just have no idea where he's going. I was about to say that I'm very surprised he didn't notice the player right next to him. He almost died straight away. Just because of the kind of lack of carelessness. He was really careful in going up, but he didn't scout. Like, the whole point of creating a box higher in a better layer is to give yourself a better angle to use the mask from, but also so that you can see the players around you. And a bit surprising. I didn't know. I didn't see exactly where he didn't scout, basically. He didn't scout. But nice spot to land in. Good awareness to jump straight into the water and not use too many of his heals here, using the water boon, which is really, really nice too. So let's see how he plays out the rest of the end game from here. Goes back into the water. Don't think he's quite in zone yet, but he still has cap mats pretty much. So nice peak box, changes his layer, goes up, gets stuck, which is super awkward. Oh, this is a rough spot. This is a rough spot. Yeah, just chucks himself up high so he can land up on a good layer. Every time I land in one of these boxes and there's a zip line, I fear for my life. What is he doing? I like that he was in a box, and usually you're scared because people will zip line into your box. I guess he just decided to... I don't know if that was the best click or not. Would not recommend using that as a play. One thing he does that's really nice always here, though, is every time he uses the mask, he always ends up crouching deep into the corner to give the least amount of people angles to spray him and to get shots off onto him, which is nice. Just super basic mechanics like that, very useful. All right, elevates, goes up. He's on a completely free layer right now, which is really nice. Couple player built off his head, so he has a chop down opportunity. Might see if this guy's going to get awareness checked. Ooh, almost if that other player wasn't shooting his floor there, which was nice. Nice little scouting. Lets the zone catch up. Now I guess he's probably just going to mask. Yeah, exact same thing again. Masks front. Creates a nice couple boxes. Cone isn't his, so he goes to replace. Beautiful shot into the back. Nice piece too. And then manages to get out. Grabs the mats and gets out instantly. Doesn't need the new mask. So he can go straight back up. Still peeks this because there's another player down below, which is nice. Now he knows that's pressured. That guy's just panicking in the backside of the storm. I like the lack of commitment though. He doesn't commit to that fight. I'd be fully trying to box fight that guy in storm and dying. I got splashes. I can fight him. I got splashes. It'll be fine. Yeah. Gets out of there. Telly's to the front. Spots a good layer. Comes down. Now he's get the opportunity to sit and chill, look back. I like the scouting that he's doing. He's continually looking around, trying to see if there's players around him on his lair. Anyone making a mistake, I can get a pump shot on. Now again, another really nice bit of tech here is just the decision of where to use the mask. Because a lot of players would try and edit out the front and throw it front, but almost always going out to the storm side, it gives you the best opportunity to throw it safely. Like the player on height up here would probably be able to look, but I mean, seems like he's got bigger issues and bigger fish to fry. This player down here, obviously, I mean, he's not going to spray the floor out more than likely. So putting it out into the storm gives you the best angles to end up actually just throwing it forward, which is something we talked about when I was looking at the Malabuka video, Malabuka games as well. Runs back in as well, which is nice to allow him to get up. High layer. Height's on wood. He should have just seen the height was on wood there. So if he sprays him out now, let's see will he do it. Beautiful. I'm a mind reader. There you go. Height sprayed out. And notice that he's not looking to, like, take height at that moment. A lot of times just spraying out height gives you just an opportunity to either grief their materials or make them drop and kill them to full damage, obviously, as well. Another one. Now take Storm. Goes front side. A little bit too front, but he has the splashes, so he can end up committing. Interesting that he actually didn't take height there. I would have thought that it would have been probably a better play to tele front, look up, and spray out height again. I guess he just wants to box fight everyone down low. Maybe he's not a super height player in solos. He does have a good amount of mats, though, so he can still play low. Now there's this big tarp he can play from, too. Okay. Yeah, I guess he just has more mats than everyone, right? At this point in the game, like, final moving zone, everyone has nothing. So the fact that he's created such a big space running through the center means that everyone's just running around his walls. So the beauty is that he's the one that's able to control everything now. Now his top 4 situation. Nice little harvest on the tree. Covering a good few angles. Always using nice little right-hand peeks as well. It's not like... His movement is so good that we talked about in the opens game, but even in scenarios like this, he's making nice right-hand peeks. Wait for him to... He's about to make the worst one ever, I guarantee you. Tanks little Storm when he's low on mats. Nice. Again, beautiful right-hand peek around the wall there. Now he's got the Invis coin. 0 builds left. Sprint play, maybe? Nice, just running about. The other player's lost. Fish popped. Oh, this is a free win for Storm now. Nice. He actually almost lost that as well. Really, really nice. Lots of little things he does. Movement is amazing. I think that's the main thing you can take away from Chap is that peaks, running around right-hand windows. If he ever edits a wall, he's always far to the other side of the other one. Like, these little maneuvers work against the best and the worst players ever. If you liked the video, like the video, subscribe, all that other jazz. Peace.